always do what makes you the happiest. That's what I just talked about on my YouTube live. So what is this about? It's about getting enough energy or, to get through the day, or basically just getting tons of energy because you're doing what you love to do. For whatever reason it is, because it's your purpose, it's your lifeline. But basically, why I said it is so people don't take it away from you. And that's what I talked about last week. It's so important that you hold on to whatever it is you love to do. And, especially when it gives you strength, when it gives you purpose, when it gives you a lifeline. And you know that people really love what it is you're doing, then please get out there and go do it. And by the way, for those who are watching right now, if you want to join, just let me know, and because I can invite you, but maybe you don't have the time. But if you are the one who says, yeah, I know what that it's like, the purpose, and I know what it's like when people are trying to talk me down and not do it, then just let me know. Hi there. So, because it's so important to do it. I can list so many reasons, varying from the endorphins, but also, it's when you do things because of purpose, it gives you a sense of meaning, of being vibrant, of living, and it gives you memories to hold on to. And especially getting to know people, especially when doing things online, like me being on this live right now, other people answering me, we are having communication. And I'm still sitting here in my space, far away from other people, like you who are watching, like Maria, for instance. And still, we are connected, and it makes me smile. And hopefully, it makes you who are watching, whether it's right now live or later on, it makes you smile too, because that's so important. This is about connection and being there for one another. And, I always thought that's one of the reasons why it's good to have a job, to go out there and meet people. But of course, it has to be a job that makes you smile, makes you happy, whether it's because of your co-workers or because the job itself is very gratifying. But sometimes it's also about what you do besides your 9-to-5 job or whatever it is, the things you do for yourself. And I'm not just talking about working out, unless of course it's working out first, which of course is great for your body and for your mind. But also maybe having coffee with all the ladies or the guys or whoever it is who's there, and just, chilling and having a good time before going home again. And those are the things that you need in order to keep on going and to be able to face what life is throwing at you. So last week, when I was talking about okay, don't give up, however and how much you are tried, this was about, basically this is the follow-up on that. It's basically about, it's so important that some people may want to put you down. And yes, you can listen to them, but do you always know the reason? Do you always understand the reason? Because if you don't, then you might feel bad about it, which exactly is what they are after. But you don't want to give your power, your energy away, especially if you don't know what's going on. And that's also why it's so important to keep on doing what you love to do. And especially when people are talking you down and trying to take it away, what's left when it's taken away? You don't have that one thing anymore, which is making you totally happy. So it's so important to keep on going. Well, then for something totally different, and I really needed to share this with you. I was going live on StreamYard, and I totally forgot that I wasn't live still. I still had to push the button. So I've been talking for like 14 minutes and then I realized I'm not live yet. So let's see. It's going to be fun. We can have really amazing talks. So there she is.
Hey
Hello.
Lexi, good to see you.
So good to see you too.
I'm glad I caught you.
Yeah, well, likewise, likewise. I just did my live. I was done in about 40 or 45 minutes, which is short for me. But I was still so excited that I'd done it, and it really made me smile. So maybe we can get Chris to join us too. That would be fun.
Oh
A
yeah,
lot
that
of
would be
people, the more the
fun. Yeah, so
merrier.
you're talking about doing what inspires you, brings you happiness and fulfillment. Is that the gist of what you've been talking about today?
Yeah, yeah. That it's So I said three reasons why you should always do what makes you the happiest. And so I talked about without energy, you cannot deal with whatever you're facing. So you need something which energizes you in order to be able to get going through life. It's also about being able to handle whatever it is, but it's also about some people are so good at talking you down and putting you down. And as a
Mm.
result, you stop doing whatever it is you love to do. Say you've got a page here on Instagram and you're posting like daily and you're having so much fun. And then people are saying, yeah, but you're not the real deal. Whether it's because you are doing a fan page or whatever else reason it is. And you decide to say, okay, I'm going to quit because they're saying I'm fake. And especially when you have a very successful page, lots of people may get jealous and say, like, oh, you know what? Don't go there because, and they don't, you know, continue to look beyond what's actually going on. And this is about us knowing that we love to do certain things and not letting others take it away
Yeah.
from us.
Well,
That's it.
don't, like
That's
you
the
said before, not to give your power away. As other people's opinion of you is none of your
Yes.
business, right? Let them have their opinion. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, if they want to explain what it is, that's one thing. I mean, but go and get a decent conversation together. Understand what it is, what they mean, what they want you to change, why, and then maybe you agree, maybe you don't. But especially when they are hiding behind what's called the internet, and they only say, especially on different platforms, other platforms like, well, don't go there.
Hmm.
That's so not fair. That's so
Are
not
you
honest.
having this problem? Are you finding that you're having people like trolls and people that are negating what you're trying to do?
I don't, but I know of people who do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what it does to them, especially when they're trying to get over certain situations. Say that
Mm-hmm.
they're traumatized and they're doing stuff in order to get over um, that trauma or trying to cope and to hold on to life and doing
Mm-hmm.
what they love to do. So they found something which is making them happy, hold on to life, however hard it is because of panic attacks or maybe other stuff that's happening, especially, like I said, when people are traumatized. And if they are not, if they feel like, yeah, but I get bullied too much, let's just stop it altogether. That's, I can tell you, it really hurts me just to think about that people quit because of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the other one has reached their purpose and they don't think about it anymore other than, oh, I've won, nice. And they feel victory. But what it does to that person and maybe all the followers of that person, ooh, that's a whole different story. Because one person can make another one really happy. And then not just one, but a lot of other ones.
Yeah, yeah.
So, have you ever encountered such a thing?
Yeah. Well, You know, actually, I feel like I look so dark. Is it dark in here? Maybe I need to put on more light. Can you see me okay?
Well, I can see you okay, but I use this.
Yeah, I maybe hold on 1 minute. I'm just going to put a light on here.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to put a light on here. There we go. That might be better. Need a backlight. That might be better, right? A little bit. Let me see. Put this down. How's that? No.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. I can also turn off the light on my end.
Oh gosh. Okay. It's
Yeah,
sort of
yeah, yeah,
blending.
yeah, yeah. Works for me.
I found that so I think we're all can be sensitive to other people's opinions, other people's responses. I think that the bottom line is, though, we have to cultivate a belief in ourselves. I mean, of course, there's always room for improvement for all of us, you know. But I love, you know, I know that Evan talks a lot about this, about, you know, getting feedback from the right people, right? If people can't relate to what you're doing or don't really have any understanding of what you're doing, they might not be the right people to get feedback from because they're, you know, they might be sitting there judging you but they have no idea where you're coming from. So, you know, being open and receptive to maybe feedback where you could make some positive changes is one thing, but if somebody's just, you know, jealous or mean-spirited or they need a life and they're so busy, you know, their life involves putting other people down, I think that you have to protect yourself from those people. And maybe it's not, you know, not associating with them or putting up a shield. I mean, I've watched people, you know, famous people who don't read reviews because they're too sensitive to it, or they have somebody screen their reviews, because we are human beings and we are affected by other people's words. And especially when you're putting yourself out there, you're vulnerable. Maybe some people don't feel vulnerable, but I know for me, it's a big step to put myself out there and to share my story, to share myself. And I do it because I want to serve and I want to help somebody. But if somebody's going to take advantage of your vulnerability, it's a shame, because really, and I know that, again, Evan riffs on this, that it's sort of sad for them that they have to be in that position. And I feel sad for them, you know, because hurt people do hurt people.
Yeah,
But
true.
none of us deserve to be the object of somebody else's hurt. So I always say, get out of the firing squad. You know, like if somebody's like shooting bullets or shooting knives or whatever, just get out of the, not give them too much attention, just remove yourself, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that that's the best way, because when you put your energy into trying to fight that or defend yourself, you're taking your precious energy away from the good you want to bring into the world. So I feel like get so focused on doing what you're doing, get so focused on bringing good, that there's no time to give them your attention, because they want your attention, you know, and because they need you for attention. It's like the kid in the class who acts out. They don't know how to get the positive attention, so they're getting the negative attention, right? So I think my two rules of course, I would be affected by it. And I am sometimes, if somebody, I mean, I know that, you know, somebody unsubscribes from my mailing list. I'm like, oh, I wonder why, you know? But on the other hand, it's like, okay, that's not my ideal client. If they're unsubscribing, I don't get many, but, you know, occasionally it's like it makes me think, but I try not to put too much effort into it, because it's like I have all these other people who love my newsletters. They open, they click, they watch my videos, they send me emails about, oh, I just needed to hear that. So try to bring my attention onto those people. But then on the other hand, you don't only want to feel good, because you want to get better, right? So again, I would take feedback from someone like you. I take feedback from another movement maker, because we are interested in bettering ourselves, because we want our service to be better. Not because I wouldn't say something to you because I want to bring you down. I would say something to you because I want to see you shine even more, right? And I trust that would be the same way here, you know?
Absolutely.
So I think that when we're putting ourselves out in the world, we have to be clear about that and and um and protect ourselves in that
Oh
way.
yeah, I absolutely agree. So actually in the life I talked about the 2 decades that I was still working for a company and how I wasn't able to do whatever needed to be done because I didn't fit the structure. So they'd rather have me do something which didn't benefit the company because at least I was captured or doing stuff conform the structure. And that was, of course, for the not for the CEOs, but the other management layers. Then have me do my own thing, which was basically something people loved me for. But of course, there were not always positions, when we're talking about reorganization. So that's what I basically started out talking about. Like, okay, um, I always have been about communication and about finding out what makes people tick, what is it they need. But not everywhere and at any place or in any platform you can do it because not everybody appreciates it, and especially when there's a change in
Mm.
management, that's a whole different ballgame. And that's why I love what we do because here we are online and we are doing our own thing. We're not depending on bosses telling us what to do. We are our own bosses. But also, it comes, of course, with a huge challenge, and that's basically what you touched upon before. And that's okay. What do I need to do in order to make it better, in order to improve myself? If people turn away, then why do they do it? Why not have that conversation first, and then okay, let me know why you do it. And that's what we need. We need to have that encouragement, to have that fight, like, hey, let's talk together. How do you feel about this? And encourage one another to grow and to keep on going and improving ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
So and that's I think one of the most important things out there to encourage one another. And sometimes, of course, we do say things and that's not maybe what they had wanted to hear, and I'll always try to say why I'm saying it, and like, okay, so I know I'm saying it, but take it in this context, and that's what makes it easier for people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm what we are doing, it takes courage, absolutely. But here we are, and
Yeah,
we're
we're
on
doing.
opposite sides of the ocean, and we are
I
talking.
know, here we are. Yeah, yeah. One of the things that intrigued me about what you were talking about today is, doing what makes you feel happy. And,
Yeah.
and, I've been being in Movement Makers and being encouraged by Evan's message and everyone else's message about, I love that follow your heart before your head can talk you out of it.
Hmm.
And, I used to teach yoga. I'm a well-trained yoga instructor, and haven't I taught it when I lived in New York on the other side of of the country. I taught it regularly and I loved it. And that's actually how I started coaching, because I ended up having my yoga students come to me, and because I have a background in helping women with problems with food, weight, and body image issues and eating disorders and all of that, I started coaching some of my yoga students, and that made me realize how much I wanted to coach. But I always loved yoga. It helped me so much in my healing journey. And so I became a yoga teacher. And in New York, I just sold the furniture in my living room and made a little yoga studio, and it got really organically, just grew. And the thing about it, so this is many years later, and I've taught it in schools and I've taught it to children, and even here, I moved here 8 years ago, and I taught it in the middle school for a little while, but I haven't really taught my own like yoga classes. And every time I thought about it, I got excited about it, but my head was like, well, you're doing so many things and you can't really make money doing that. And, like all these reasons why I can't be teaching yoga. But, this time I decided I'm going to just follow it. I have this feeling like I want to follow it. So Friday, I'm starting my first yoga class in the neighborhood. And I have all these people that are saying they're interested. And I'm doing it by donation. So it's chill. Nobody will be excluded. And I'm doing it for a couple of reasons. First off, I know that I want to build community here. Now that COVID is lifted a bit, I think we're all craving community. And I love the kind of yoga that I teach is really for everybody. You don't have to be in shape to do this yoga. As a matter of fact, you really embrace, it's called Kripalu Yoga, and you really embrace wherever you're at. And you're not comparing yourselves to other people, but you're just finding your edge and growing from where you're at. And I love that because it's very embracing and accepting. And I mean, I've taught people in chairs or people that were bedridden or, that we can all do yoga. Yoga is really about connecting to yourself and then stretching and movement. And so I just started. So now all of a sudden I have clients that want to come. I have, so that's the other thing is that I know I have a deep down feeling that I will also be able to support people in one-on-one coaching that might come out of the yoga classes, but just doing the yoga classes in itself. So I decided to not get a studio. I'm doing it actually in the library community room. I'm starting it on Fridays from 10:30 to 11:45. It's donation-based yoga, and I just put it out to a handful of people, and I'll see how many people show up, but I have a handful of people that's saying they're coming. So I'm excited about it. I pulled out my yoga mats. I pulled out all my yoga supplies. So I'm excited about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen Shaila recently? So she's doing the Zumba classes. And I didn't know, but when I was watching her Instagram
Who is this?
post, Shaila Cruz.
I don't know her.
Yeah, most people call her Sheila because they don't know how to pronounce her name, but it's Shaila. She's also from Movement Makers. So she does these Zumba lessons.
Oh, cool.
And she actually lives in the Netherlands together with me, but far away. It's easier to go live online than it is to see her. But she also sells, in her case, Zumba clothing. And maybe you could do something similar, like promote yoga supplies. Just a thought.
Maybe I do have a coaching practice. And I have clients, and I have my, that's my, so doing the yoga classes once a week might be just enough for me right now, because aside from that, I also help my daughter with my grandchildren. Like I have a pretty full life,
Yeah. So are you going to record those lessons?
What's that? Am I going to record them? Probably not right away. I mean.
Oh, your sounds. Maria, I can't hear you anymore. You're back again.
Okay,
I missed a whole lot from probably not.
I'm not gonna record them on set. I would have to have people sign something if I was going to record them, and I don't want to get into recording them right away. Maybe I will record I do energy work. I'm a master practitioner of a lot of energy modalities, and I'm also a trainer of those. And I have videos where I demonstrate different things to help with energy work. And yoga would be another step into that. But I haven't really gotten to that place so much on my YouTube channel. I do teach people how to apply emotional freedom techniques, the tapping, on my YouTube channel, but I haven't done any yoga moves or anything like that, recording that.
It's one of those things when I go out there live, I always like to make recordings, and you can always do it from the back. So you are seen because you are facing the people, but people themselves are not seen because basically you are recording the back of their heads.
Yeah.
Or you're recording over them. And so that's, or you do it just from the sides, that only you are seen. But those things are so valuable, later down the line. It's like Evan always says when he looks down on his first YouTube videos, and that really helped me, when he said, keep those videos on there, and, no matter what you're doing, it's okay to just, well, and maybe it's not perfect, and who cares that it's not perfect, but when you keep doing it, you can actually see your growth.
Yeah,
And the
that's true.
change in what you're doing.
That's true. Yeah.
And
Well, I definitely consider it. I mean, I don't stay in one place when I teach a yoga class. I move the room. So I might need somebody filming that. But yeah, it's definitely something to see my growth, or just even to share it with others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just, if you can, could like put up 2 phones or something, 2 different angles.
Yeah.
Just an idea,
Yeah, great. It's a good idea. It is a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And, and getting back to what I was talking about, it's when this gives you satisfaction and purpose, and also when it gives the other people who are there the energy, because they went down, they calm down, they can bring that energy to whatever it is they're doing.
The ripple
That's so
effect.
important. So I wrote down 2 things. Take the energy from the good you want to get out in the world. That's what
is that?
So, take the energy from the good you want to get out in the world. So basically, you get something out there, and then you embrace it. You use that energy for something else. I quoted you, actually. And follow your heart before your head can talk you out of it. That's the other one.
Yeah, it's good. That's been my mantra lately, just to listen to my heart and explore. And that's what I've said. I just said to my husband, I'm just going to explore this and see where it leads. And just see where it leads, but give myself the opportunity to play this out. If not now, when? So I'm getting a nice response. There is another yoga studio in town, but there's room for all of us. Because at first I was like, oh, I hope she's not going to be upset with me. But I have a different. I appeal to a different kind of person. My yoga is really for people who are not in shape.
Yeah.
I want people to embrace where they're at. And I think that, yeah. But, Lexi, I actually looked at the time. I'm going to have to go. Thank you so much for holding the space.
Yeah, you're so welcome. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I did in the life, and we just talked about it. And you got also, you talked about what you do and what you love to do, what gives you energy, what makes you happy. And one of the things I said about, sometimes needing someone else to keep them going. Basically, that's what you said too. We need one another to grow, and to figure out what it is we need to do. And also about, let's not get discouraged because of what other people are saying, especially when they do not really want to talk about it, but do it behind your back. And this is about following your purpose, your path. But, that by itself, it makes you happy. But if we really want to succeed, of course, that's not entirely enough. But that's why we are all here together as a family and helping one another out. And I guess that's a good thing. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Lexi. It's great to see you.
Yeah.
And I'll see you, maybe I'll see you tomorrow at the Built to Serve.
Oh, you probably will. Unless I've fallen asleep again.
Okay. Have a good afternoon, evening, whatever time it is there.
It's 2:30, so at night.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to edit the whole lot and then go to sleep, or maybe go to sleep straight away. So you have a great evening.
Thank you. I will.
We'll
take care
later.
Bye bye, Lexi. Thanks so much.
Thank you.